So these are the point standings after 3 rounds of the normal championship. 13 points to me, 18 points to Carlos, and 11 points to Tommy. And as I said before, a total of 11 drivers have now scored points after 3 rounds. I'd imagine we're probably going to get at least 12, 13, maybe 14 drivers in the points by the time we're done with this. And these are the updated manufacturer standings. And still no points per Citroen. There obviously has to be a fucking glitch somewhere in the system as to why they don't have any points. Oh well, anyway, let's move on to Spain for round 4.
After 3 punishing rounds, the next venue for the World Rally Championship is Spain. A country famous for its fiestas throws open its arms to welcome the WRC Carnival. The stages are all on tarmac roads around the Ret de Mar on the Costa Brava. The rally's held in the Catalan region, where the locals' pride and passion will be matched only by the drivers' will to win.
Okay, so that's our introduction to Rally Spain, and as you would have expected, we are driving on tarmac, if you were paying attention to the cutscene. Well, mostly tarmac. But anyway, here is our first stage, Col de Bracons. And long gears, strong brake strength, medium steering, dry tyres, and hard suspension. Yeah, I'm okay with all that. Anyway, let's go. As I now have a 12-point lead in the standings after 3 rounds. And I gotta say, Portugal was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But in all honesty, I rose to the occasion. And I managed to overcome a half a second deficit heading into stage 5, and that was pretty much what won me the rally. So, yeah. Yee. Taking a while to load at the moment. I don't know why.
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay. Why do I keep shifting up into second? And I'm also noticing a bit of fog at the moment. It's either that or it's just low clouds. It's probably low clouds most likely at this stage, because if it was fog, then I'm pretty sure it would be thick. I'm pretty sure it would be thicker. And I am 3/4 of a second behind Tommy Mäkinen in the Mitsubishi.
50 over crest.
Yeah, I'm seeing rays of sun. These are definitely low clouds.
150 left 2.
Although then again, we are up in the mountains, so it's understandable
Very long, left 3.
as to why there would be low clouds here.
50 long, left 2. Into right 4. And left 3. 50 right.
By the way,
4.
I do like these tarmac rims.
Into long,
I think these tarmac rims, they actually look really cool,
right 3.
and they pretty much go
Into left 2.
with this car perfectly.
200 right 3.
So I think whoever was in charge of the rim design over at Hyundai, I can definitely give a ton of credit to the designer, because I really like these 5-spoke rims. And 1.3 seconds is now the gap. So I think it's obvious to say the Mitsubishis are pretty fast here. And they're both ahead of my main rival for the title, Carlos. And pretty much keeping my foot in the throttle. And nearly 2 seconds over Tommy Mäkinen in the end. And Carlos dropped down in the end of that stage. But anyway, those are the split sector results of stage 1. And now we must move on to stage 2. I really hope I did not get caught for that. I will honestly be pretty pissed if I did. Anyway. Stage 1 is done. And these are your results. So we had 2 Fords in the top 6, along with 2 Mitsubishis, and 1 of the Subarus, which again is Richard Burns. And a 1.95 second margin of victory over Tommy Mäkinen, as Carlos starts off with a 14-second deficit behind me. That's P7 to P12, P13 to P18, and P19 to P21. Okay, we are doing good. And now we move on to Latrona for stage 2. Don't need to worry about the setup. The setup is just fine the way it is. And let's get on with stage 2 here in Spain. Also, just before we continue, I might as well turn the music down just a little bit more, so in case if the bots do decide to spot anything inauspicious, they won't be able to spot it as easily. So, just gonna turn that down a bit more. Okay, let's go.
3, 2, 1, go! 150, left 4.
You know, one thing that is quite interesting is just the way that PS2 character graphics looked for the time. And in all honesty, I gotta say, the driver graphics for that time, I think they were actually pretty smooth. In this game at least. As in, they weren't as bloated in terms of their graphics as they were with other games. So 1.6 seconds is the gap, and Carlos is not finding a lot of success on the tarmac at the moment because he is still down in P4 behind the 2 Mitsubishis, the way things currently stand. It honestly would surprise me if I do manage to get a clean sweep here.
50 over crest, into right 4.
And gap is now 7.7 seconds over Tommy Mäkinen.
100 over crest, into left 2. 100 over crest, into right
Which,
2,
to put it simply,
and
is, well,
left 4.
a lot.
50, right 5.
And had to step hard on the brakes there, so I did not
Left 3.
run over those concrete slabs and go off into the countryside.
Very long, hairpin left.
We are still very much up in the mountains here. And the gap has dropped just a little bit, but either way, I'm still far enough ahead
50, left 2.
to more or less extend my lead, as I do so frequently.
Into very long, left 4.
And so, I continue to ride.
Over crest. 50, right 3. Over crest.
I think this rally is going to be pretty easy for me to pull off the way I see things,
50,
because we are on tarmac after all, and typically it's normally easier to get those extra seconds on tarmac than it is on other surfaces, is what me thinks.
And finish.
And there we go. 13 seconds. The margin of victory over Tommy. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty easy win the way I see things. But anyway, there we go. And of course, moving away from the replay settings because, well, there's potentially copyrighted audio involved in there. And that's why I have to get the hell out of there as soon as possible. Anyway, 2 stages down, and we still have another 3 stages to go. So, 13 seconds, the margin of victory in the end of stage 2, and that's pretty much going to give me what feels like an easy win. Or so I would think. So P7 to P12, P13 to P18, and rounded off by Bugalski, again in the Citroen. And 15.3 seconds is now the gap to Tommy Mäkinen. Freddie Loix in 3rd, Carlos 4th, Richard 5th, and Didier in 6th. So, let's move on now to stage 3. And where this will surely be what gives me the win. If I go any further out to a distance than what I already have done at this stage. This, I would imagine, is going to be a very easy win if I get this right. And just sipping my water because it's what I do. And now, time for stage 3.
2, 1, go! 100 long, left 2.
And
100 left 4.
so far, so good.
Into right 5. Into long, right 2. 200 left 4.
And 3 seconds is now the interval to Carlos. Of course, I would imagine at this stage, unless
100 left 5.
Tommy really drops off a cliff in these last 3 stages,
50 right
I
5.
don't really think he's going to be losing second. Because he was 20 seconds clear of Carlos
Into
heading
left 2.
into the stage.
Left 4.
And of course, well, I have a 15-second gap up front.
50 over crest. Into long, left 3.
So,
50 over
looks like this
crest.
one is going to be pretty easy for me to pull
100
off,
left 3.
since
50
my car
left 2.
arguably has the best possible setup it could
50 right
have
2.
for tarmac roads such as these ones. And 6.2 seconds now, or thereabouts. And
50 over crest.
looks like this is where I will score the win,
And finish.
as I win the stage by nearly 7 seconds over Tommy Mäkinen, which is really cool. Anyway, that is now 3 stages down, and I'm also pretty sure that will give me the rally win by default. So Carlos did manage to get on the podium in the end, even though he still finished behind Tommy. But whatever. As this time Didier Auriol finishes ahead of Richard Burns. And the 2 Ford drivers just outside the points. There's P7 to P12, P13 to P18, and as ever we have the bottom 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have got the win well and truly locked up by a long way, the way I see things now. And I think that's only going to continue to get bigger as we go further and further along. P7 to P12. Also got P13 to P18. And as ever, the bottom 3. 2 stages to go here in Spain. Let's now go and absolutely demolish the opposition, as we have pretty much done by a long way already. And honestly, it doesn't even matter if I wind up losing the last 2 stages by a few seconds, because I still feel like I'm going to win this rally regardless. And there's no cockiness involved either, because that's just how fucking big my margin is, and it is raining. So this is going to be interesting. Can I please stop shifting straight up into 2nd gear when I don't need to? But again, we're still on tarmac, so it's not going to affect the handling of my car that much. This should more or less be an easy win the way I see things.
100 very long, left 3.
Okay. And 1.8 seconds the gap to Tommy Mäkinen, as Carlos has dropped outside the top 4 here.
50, right 2, into very long, left 2, over crest.
I am trying to find out which button it is for the rear view, if there is one. I don't know if there is or isn't one. But anyway,
50, right 5.
we continue
50,
our
right 2,
ascent through the mountain,
long, left 4, over crest.
because I am very much a mountain man at this point.
100 caution, over crest, into very long, hairpin left. 50, right 2.
And I'm only just ahead
Very long, right 4.
of Tommy in this stage. But then again, because I have such an unassailable lead at this stage of the event, it really doesn't matter how much I digress, because it is going to be very hard for the AI to catch back up to me, even if I do wind up losing this stage, because we only have 2 stages left. Plus, my performance would really need to fall off a cliff in the final stage
crest.
in order for me to realistically lose this rally. Because that's just how far ahead I am.
And finish.
And I still wind up gaining time. 2.5 seconds to be precise. Okay, moving on. So, that was stage 4 here in Spain. And autosave once again shows itself, as I will now save the replay. Because I do that so frequently. Okay. So, after 4 stages, I now have probably a 25-second lead, or thereabouts. And I think this is going to be the first rally where Carlos does not finish P2. So there's your top 6. This here is your middle 6. And another middle 6. P13 to P18, and as ever, the bottom 3. 24.7 seconds is now the leading margin I have. So basically, I'm really gonna have to jump off a cliff a couple of times if I'm gonna lose this rally, which I know is not going to happen, because I'm just that far ahead of everyone else. Plus, the gap from 2nd to 3rd is even bigger. But Carlos is closing in on Freddy anyway, so I guess that's something. But yeah, these intervals are just so spread out. It's almost like you're wondering if 1 or 2 of them are having mechanical issues on a given basis. Either that, or it's just because their cars are really slow. Anyway, final stage of normal Rallye de Catalunya. Let's pretty much send off what has more or less been a salient and untouchable performance regarding deficits between me and the competition. Excuse me.
3, 2, 1, go! 100 left 2. Into right 4. 50, very long, right 4. 50,
So,
left 5.
here we go.
100 caution, over jump. Into left 1 and right 2. 50, left 2. 50, long left 4, over crest. Into very long left 4, tighten.
So it looks like we're pretty much racing on open roads here for the final stage.
Over crest.
And 4 seconds behind Tommy after sector 1.
50, left 5.
But you know what? I'm okay with that.
Into
I'm still going to win this rally regardless.
3.
The gap is just simply
Over crest.
not tight enough
Into left 2.
for me to really worry about making
50, left 4.
any major mistakes between now and the finish.
50, left 2. Into right 4. 100, very
Because-
long, left 3.
For want of a better phrase,
Into right 2.
I'm feeling really
50,
good about my
left
shots of winning this rally,
50, right 5.
and I am pretty sure that is what will happen again, regardless of how many mistakes I make. between now and the end of this rally. Again, as I said, I would literally have to fall off a cliff a couple of times in order for my performance to just suddenly turn itself away. Like that. No, I can afford to lose time. It's not like I'm really under threat here. In terms of the margin I have over the rest of the field. I can probably afford a few mistakes. Yeah, I had to get down into first gear in order for me to actually get through that hairpin. There was probably no other way I would have made it through. And the mistakes are continuing. And now they're even worse. It's all falling apart. But either way, it doesn't matter because I'm still going to come away with the unassailable win. As long as I can stay on the road between now and then. Okay, now I'm going to have to stay on the road between now and the end of this thing. I'm certainly not winning the stage anymore, but either way, as long as I can hold on for the rest of this, then that shouldn't really matter, because I will still be here to pretty much put together an easy win for the rally anyway. And 7 seconds behind Tommy Mäkinen in the final stage. Although, to be fair, I did make my fair share of mistakes. Plus, I also gained 9.5 seconds in that final sector split. So I think that goes to show just how much of an advantage the player has on tarmac. But either way, it still wins me the rally. Congratulations, you came first. You have unlocked Argentina Single Rally, Argentina Time Trials. Oh yeah, by the way, we have also unlocked our first rally outside of the first 4, as round 5 takes place in Argentina. So let's now save the game, and I'm pretty sure that I should have a replay saved, because I saved it earlier on. And in case if I didn't, then, well, I'll probably save this replay, even though it was a bit less savoury than my other stage performances. Anyway, do we have a replay saved? Yes we do. Even though I already knew that. But anyway. So, those are the results of the final stage, as I dropped 7 seconds in the end of that. But either way, results don't matter, because I'm still going to win the rally by a long way. So Tommy won the stage, Carlos 2nd, myself in 3rd, Richard Burns 4th, Freddie Loix 5th, and Gilles Panizzi was 6th in the first Peugeot. P7 to P12, and P13 to P18, rounded off as ever with the bottom 4. I still scored the unassailable win regardless. And for the first time this season, Carlos Sainz does not finish in P2. Thus ends his streak of finishing P2. So Tommy was 2nd, Freddie 4th, Richard Burns 5th, and Didier Auriol 6th. So, Some nice points there for Mitsubishi on the tarmac rally. There's P7 to P12. My teammate Kenneth Eriksson finished in P12. There's P13 to P18. And once again, it was my other teammate, Piero Liatti, who came home last. So once again, the Hyundais finished in first and last place. Yeah, we've won Rally Catalunya. Rally de España. Of course. So, a clear-cut 40 points to me, as I have swept the first 4 rounds. Carlos in second with 22. Tommy Mäkinen now moves up to third with 17 points. Richard Burns fourth. Freddie Loix now moves up to fifth. And Francois Delacour completes the top 6. And no further drivers have added their name to the points tally. And Petter Solberg is at the bottom of those point standings. Anyway. So, 42 points to Hyundai, 24 points to Ford, 22 points to Mitsubishi, 8 points to Subaru, 4 points to Peugeot, 4 points to Skoda, and still 0 points to Citroën. Again, that does come with an asterisk. But either way, there we go. Spain is now done, and now we must move on to South America, where we head to Argentina.